But you said you got into the modeling, or like they took pictures.
Well, I thought I was going to be a model, but I'm not tall enough. You got to be tall
right,
and lean. I'm a running back, you know.
Right.
You know. So I remember talking to somebody, and he was like, it was this other cat from Sacramento. There was like this modeling competition. He won. He said, "Hey man," he's like, "You know what?" He's like, "The real money's in acting."
Okay.
He's like, that's where the money's at. He's like, you need to learn how to act.
Wow.
You know, and I was like, acting, because you know, modeling. There's like these requirements.
They got the prototypical model that they expect that you have to look.
Yeah, and then it was like everybody, you know, throws shade at being a model. I can get it. It's just like a lot of pretty boy stuff. I really didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm more of like I like to use my physicality with stuff too. You know, so. Man, so then it was like trying to figure out acting, but I was back in Sacramento and I was getting gigs through these like promotional type things and some modeling for like sports apparel and stuff. But like on Craigslist, you go on Craigslist in Sacramento, there's like 3 or 4 gigs. And then out of curiosity, I was looking at other cities for jobs, and I went to LA and I opened up LA gigs. And there was pages and pages and pages of gigs. And I was already booking like stuff in my little area, you know, in Sacramento. So I opened up LA, I was like, oh man, that's where I gotta go. That's where the money's at.
Okay.
Like,
that's what's up.
But that's how much I was trying to survive. I was start on Craigslist. I didn't know about like having a modeling agent or an acting agent or a coach and stuff like that, you know?
You're figuring it out.
I was figuring it out. I was falling forward. So I had a friend who had a girlfriend who lived in LA, and he was out here, and he's my boy Keenan. I was like, bro, I gotta come out to LA. He's like, all right, man, just come on out, man.
Just come.
just come. So, you know, just come was a struggle though. But I was out here sleeping on their couch. He was kind of fighting with his girlfriend. But, you know, make a long story short, it ended up working out. I think at that point, where it really changed for me was I was trying to figure it out, like this acting thing. 'Cause acting is like, it looks easy on TV because they're so good. They're so good at being themselves and being a character and being natural. It looks easy, but that shit is not easy if you don't know what you're doing. Right. So there was like a time where it was like very challenging booking anything because I really didn't know what acting was. It never really, you know. But until then, I was just like, someone was like, you just need to do like background and so you can get a check and learn how movies and stuff work. So I would be doing background work, and then I discovered something called Stunts. And Stunts is fucking great because I didn't know this even existed. But you know, you watch them commercials and there's football players on the commercials, or there's like Patrick Mahomes doing Allstate and State Farm, and whenever they're doing any type of action, that's not really Patrick Mahomes. Not to give it away to everybody, but that's not really him.
You gotta give it away.
That's not him doing everything because in his contract, he can't risk getting hurt on a fucking State Farm commercial and then not being able to play on Sunday.
Gotcha.
Twisting the ankle. So they got to find somebody with his build, his likeliness, that has his skill set that can double him. So make a long story short, I was with this casting company and they called. It was like, can you go to San Diego at 7 p.m.? It's a rush call. We need a stand-in that kind of fits your build. Right. And at that time, stand-in for me was like, it was at like a little bit of a lower pay grade because I was doing like track commercials. I was doing like football commercials, and I was getting paid more to be like more of a double. And I was like, man, I don't know if I could do it for that rate. And they're like, call me back, please. We really need you. And this my ego could have really messed up hundreds of thousands of dollars for me. It didn't seem like it was $100,000 at that time because it wasn't for that job.
Gotcha.
But if I didn't go show up there, my future, I would have missed out on $1 million basically.
Yeah, we ain't calling him again. Scratching no more.
Not just that. It's the person I was going to meet on that set that day.
Okay.
They didn't tell me who I was doubling for.
Gotcha.
This dude had just won a Super Bowl, so now he's everywhere. And I go there, and then here comes Russell Wilson out. And
Dope.
and me and Russell Wilson, like the same size, same complexion,
I can see it.
same build. So, like, let me show you how weird this was. And this is only God and you know, this is only God and the universe or whatever you want to call it at this time, because Randall Bacon, Russell Wilson.
I can see it. Totally 100%.
Look at that.
Yo. Which one? Right here? You see that? Got Russell's body double.
So
Got it?
So with that, I almost missed out on that. So when I saw him, that's like I'm looking at my brother or my little brother or something.
Yo.
I'm like, and I played football at a high level too, you know? Right. So it was like, it was just strange. And his commercials, he's running all the time. He's running in his commercials. He's doing shit.
And you were a running back.
And I was a running back. So this is before Russell blew up after winning the Super Bowl. This is before anybody, he wasn't doing a bunch of commercials and shit. So I was meeting him as he was going into something major.
Wow.
Right? I got a call to go meet that for a standing role. We ended up being hella cool, you know, like just having fun or whatever. Talked to his manager, and his manager was hella cool. You know, young white dude whose dad owns like a big time baseball agency, because Russell Wilson's his agent, that's why he be having baseball type contracts. His agent is not a football agent. His agent's a baseball agent.
Wow.
So his son, shouts out to Matt. Matt was cool, and Matt was like, "Hey man," he's like, "Bro," "you're like the perfect size for him." He's like, "Look, man, he has a fucking schedule this coming year. He's doing this, and this." And then me being the hustler I kind of was, I was like, "Look, why don't we do this? Instead of me just going through these casting companies, why don't you negotiate me and Russell's contracts? Like that when he has a shoot, he has to bring this guy.
You're the guy.
I'm the guy, you know? But if I didn't have the confidence and the wherewithal or even the hustle to be able to talk to him and be like, why don't we have you tie me to his shoot so I'm always available, and they can never play me on the rates. Like I have to get paid this much, double scale, whatever." So that's what I did with his manager.
That's dope.
You know, so that kind of segued into me getting a SAG card, you know, being part of the Screen Actors Guild. And that was very enlightening too, because it was like I got the SAG card in the mail, and I got the card, and I'm looking at the card, and I was just like, damn, I'm SAG. I was like, you better learn how to act, you know? So I started taking money and taking classes and doing all that. So I was doing the stunt doubling and then you know, doing acting. And I think I booked like Young and the Restless. I think that was one of my first gigs. You know, I played a police officer in Young and the Restless, and then started booking ever since then.